Hello, dearly beloved viewers, my friends and family. Thank you for your time today. I just want to quickly juggle our minds and ask some questions in relation to this case of our beloved son that's missing. Our dear sister's son, baby testimony, of course. I thank God for all that he's been doing. Thank God for his protection, his provision, all the support and help that he has provided. He has sent all over the world to be with our sister, and for everyone who's been standing with her. I am just grateful to God for that. The main question I want to ask is, if you were Ruth Matthew, right from the day her child vanished from the Mercy Shrine, what would you have done? How would you have reacted? Who would you have reported to? And then the subsequent days, weeks, months, and years now, what would you be doing? From one of the videos I saw that was presented by Perfect, or was it on Chantel's channel, where they played the video, of course, the national anthem now for this course, If This Baby Comes Out. I heard when Jeremiah said something about, people asked him, oh, we thought you had forgiven this woman. This case was over. What's going on? And he said, yes, he had. He didn't know why she was coming back. If your child, if baby testimony was your child, we're not even going very far now. Asking if he was your neighbor's child, your godson, your nephew. If he was your child, the case was swept away, effectively forgotten about, and 3 years later, God raised someone who comes to fight your cause, comes to be the voice that you do not have in the society where you live. What would you do? Because everybody is just, a lot of people who are against Ruth Matthew are of the opinion that, where has she been all these years? How come she's just coming out now? Why is she still speaking? And so I'm posing these questions to all of these people, as well as to the genuine people who are fighting with her, standing with her. What would you have done? They have come out, people who are billionaires, people who are popular, famous, who are wealthy, people who have a voice in society. They claim to be titled people in the name of God. They call themselves all kinds of titles, men and women alike. They have all come out to have shared their worthless opinion on this case. If baby testimony was your child, what would you have done? The same scenario, he disappeared from one of the shrines scattered all over the world. What would you have done? That's my simple question for this outing. Another question is, would you have been grateful that Prophet found your case and now he's brought it to the limelight and has allowed the quarters, the authorities, the people who should hear about it to hear about it? What would you do? So it's not only that silly question, what would you do if this child comes out from nowhere? What would you have done if baby testimony was your child? What would you have done when you were arrested? The bogus charges were put upon you and you were dragged from the location where you lived to another place in the same country. What would you have done? If you were Ruth Matthew and you were offered all those monies, remember from the very first instance when the child disappeared, a day later she was offered 2 million naira to forget the child, what would you have done then? What would you have done after you had appeared in a so-called humanitarian platform who claims to be an activist fighting on behalf of the voiceless, the poor, the downtrodden, and then eventually you were castigated, told you were telling lies, your child may not be missing, you had inconsistencies in your story, and the case was thrown away by the very people who claim that they are speaking on behalf of humanity. What would you have done? You were Ruth Matthew, that disgraced person, creature, came and offered you 100,000 naira, and with the promise of getting you started off on a business and a car as well in your name. What would you have done? If you were Ruth Matthew and the Ogala creature was planted in your life, she teleguarded every step of Ruth's existence throughout her time in this story, how would you have responded? What would you have done? And of course, you have been dragged from all over the place. All kinds of people have come to tell you all sorts of things. Who would you keep trusting? Who would you trust with your life and your case? So, dearly beloved people, this is all I would just wanted to ask. Let us be honest. What would you do? I know what I would have done. Maybe one of the times when we come on the live session, which we would get into, it won't be often because the lives activities of my life tend to just stand in the way of me doing a live session, but we will get there. So maybe when we come, I would share what I would have done. Not very different from what Ruth Matthew has done so far, or maybe things I would have done in addition. So I would love to hear from you. What would you have done given all these circumstances? I would love to hear from you guys. Please leave in the comments what you would have done. Let us ask ourselves these questions, because it is very easy to sit down afar from the person who's going through the fire to say, oh, you should be dancing while you're in the fire, or you should sit still, or you should stand up, or maybe you should lie down, then the fire won't hurt you so much, or maybe you should just jump out of it, or maybe you should just find a way to turn it off. Yeah, we're very great at giving all these suggestions from afar, but when we are in the same shoes, the same position, experiencing the same events for real, let us be honest. What will you do? This is to everybody. What will you do? Well, those who haven't given their lives to Christ, please, this is I'm calling you now to please give your life to Christ, not rededicate. You do not know God. Like that's stooge. There's no rededicating life here. This is for real. We're for real. Let us say the real things that we will do, not a feast of Thanksgiving, like one of them said, or all those rubbish without thinking. Let us be honest. What will you do? Thank you.